Taiwan Sammy, I'm back, baby. It is 6 a.m. on Sunday morning. I'm here at Seoul Station. This is the earliest I've ever been here, and I came a little early because I wanted to get some breakfast, but I'm not hungry. I'm headed to Busan, to the other side of the country, on KTX. So you saw my video a week ago. There was a KTX strike, and but that strike is over now, so back on the train, headed down to work early Sunday morning. I have an 11 a.m. class, so I'm taking the 6:30 train, arriving at 9:15, and taking a cab to the location for 10 a.m., have a coffee, and then start around 11. A lot of prep to do when we get down there. So today's topic is going to be on the military in Korea, and specifically on the Republic of Korea military service. And then I'm going to touch base a little bit on the civil defense part of that. So it's really empty here. I've never seen it this empty. The only trains leaving are the early trains to Busan. Anyway, so military service in Korea, under Korean law, all citizens, male, between the ages of 18 and 35 must serve 18 to 24 months in the military. Basically what happens is that they serve in 6 weeks or 6 months. No, it's not 6 months. It's 6 weeks to 3 months of basic training, and then they head over to their service. Be it, frontline duty or just, back office work. It all depends on your aptitude. Now, like any government organization, it doesn't always work perfectly, and you have guys working with degrees who are working in, ditch digging or something like that. But anyway, most of the Koreans that I've talked to, what happens is you go to your first year of university and then you serve in the military. Now, I do know some people who have deferred their military service, and then they go a little bit later, after they graduate university, and because of their degree or their education or their specialty, they move into an area, they get moved into an area of expertise. For example, I knew one who was working in engineering because he had a degree. And then I knew someone else who served frontline and was working on the DMZ, patrolling. Now, that was in the 1960s. This is somebody who, was one of the senior executives that I currently work with, who's like 60 years old. And we're talking about when he served in the military, it was decades ago. The other thing you can do is you can volunteer. Instead of doing 18 months, you can do 24 months in the local police. So what that means is you do the less difficult duty, but you serve in the police force, not in patrolling, but in crowd control and service. I'm not 100% sure of the details of that, but I've seen those police officers. They usually do riot control or crowd control or, patrol duty, because what happens here is that there is a lot of, and there's my train. I have 30 minutes to get to my train. Track 9. Okay, so there's a lot of patrols. So for example, all of the military bases, American, have the police outside the base, surrounding the base. for security purposes at all the entry points. Not securing the entry points on, like, they're not checking the IDs of people going in and out. That's done at the gate by US personnel. What they're doing is just ensuring the safety of the area. And then when there's dignitaries coming in, like say for example president or secretary of state or whatever, then the security is increased. And when there's protests as well, the security is increased. That's what you can volunteer for. Now, the other thing is, which is interesting, is that if you win a gold medal at the Olympics or any of the top, like the top sports events, international sporting events, you are given a waiver, military service waiver. Now they're also talking about doing that for K-pop stars or global ambassadors type thing. But there's a recent backlash, and BTS, which a lot of people, most people know who BTS is, they're really popular right now. They have to perform their military duty. That just came out recently. So on top of that, what we have is the civil defense drills. Now those happen on the 10th or 15th of every month at 2 p.m. It's known. Now what happens is that sorry, just listening to that. So that drill, what happens is that nationwide, now get this, nationwide, the air raid sirens go off and everything must stop. So all the cars stop, all the subways stop in the stations, all the pedestrian traffic is supposed to go into the subways, like go underground or into a building. It's basically you're supposed to pretend that we're under attack. And that lasts for 10 minutes. Everything stops for 10 minutes. And then another siren comes on and then we start up again. Now, it doesn't happen every month. Usually happens in the spring and summer. I don't know what I'm doing at 2 p.m. on those days, but I haven't heard one in a while. Because I'm probably working. I'm not sure why I haven't heard one. Anyway, the other thing that happens is once a year, usually in the spring, there's a nationwide intensive drill where they actually simulate an attack, like a chemical attack or an air attack, and it's a little bit more intense. Usually that happens in Seoul or some other major city. Where's my track? Just walk past my track. And I've experienced one of those once. And they simulate an attack in the subway system, and you know, there's a whole big thing. And it was just pretty interesting. Now, a funny story, first time I ever experienced the drill. So I arrived in June of 2009. June 2009. And June 2009 was interesting because I landed, wow, that's flushed out. There we go. In June 2009, there's trains. Mine hasn't arrived yet. I'm just bored. In June 2009, the situation was, it was a couple of days after the first ever North Korean atomic test. Like, we're talking 4 or 5 days after the first atomic test. And I was new to Korea. I didn't know what was going on. And then what happened was, I was living with some friends, and I landed on the 1st of June, and on the 10th of June, the sirens go off. I don't know what's going on. I'm like new to this country. And these sirens are going off and I'm freaking out. It was hilarious. But, you know, I looked out the window. I mean, there's no basement, right? I was looking out the window and I saw that nobody was really doing anything, so I figured, oh, this must be a test or something. But it startled me for a bit, but now I'm used to it. So I'm gonna post a link to a video down below so you can see what it looks like and what it sounds like. And anyways, in the end, I want to thank everybody for watching, for liking and subscribing. ET1's Hemi. I'm out.